1968 was a year of velvet harmonies, smoky stages, and songs that felt like confessions whispered over slow dancing floorboards. Some artists burned bright for just a moment, but what a moment it was. Today, we're revisiting the gems that hit once and stayed in our hearts forever. Let's bring them back to the light. Number 10. Grazing in the Grass by Hugh Masekela. There's something instantly uplifting about this track. The kind of tune that could spill out of a transistor radio on a summer afternoon and make the world feel lighter. In 1968, South African-born trumpeter Hugh Masekela was already respected among jazz circles. But no one expected this song to break the American mainstream the way it did. Recorded in Los Angeles with a tight studio ensemble, the groove is bright, playful, and impossibly joyful. No words needed, just pure musical sunlight. Here's the surprising part. The entire instrumental was recorded almost as a studio warm-up. Something casual, something easy. Yet when it hit radio, listeners couldn't get enough. The track soared all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. A rare feat for an instrumental, and even rarer for an African jazz artist in the States at the time. Picture 1968, bell-bottoms swaying, backyard parties going past sundown, friends laughing barefoot in the grass. This song felt like freedom, simple, sweet, and unbothered by the noise of a turbulent world. And while Masekela continued to influence jazz and world music globally, in America, this joyful burst remains his most enduring mainstream moment. If that was feel-good Sunshine Soul, the next track shows how heartbreak could sound beautiful in 1968. Number 9. Slip Away by Clarence Carter.
Slip away, slip away, slip away.
This one slides in smooth as velvet on a warm night. Released in 1968 on the Fame label, Slip Away came at a time when Southern soul was deep, raw, and real. Clarence Carter was a session guitarist and singer, working his way up in the Muscle Shoals scene, surrounded by legends, yet still waiting on his moment to shine.
What would I give?
And when this track dropped, it was like lightning striking red clay. What makes Slip Away special is its emotional honesty. It's not a loud heartbreak, it's a quiet confession. Love found in shadows, desire wrestling with guilt.
When you're stealing, darling, let me tell you something now.
You can almost hear the room where it was recorded. Low lights, whiskey glasses half filled, musicians playing with that unspoken understanding that this song mattered. It climbed to the top 10 on the R&B charts, giving Carter his biggest spotlight. But after that, mainstream audiences drifted on to the next wave.
Then we could meet somewhere.
Still, Slip Away remains one of those records you stumble on, and it stops you still, like the past reaching out and brushing your shoulder. If that was secret longing, this next one is pure, swooning devotion. Number 8. La La Means I Love You. By the Delphonics, released in early 1968 on Philly Groove Records, this was the moment when soul took a turn toward the dreamy, romantic, and impossibly smooth. The Delphonics, led by the gentle, floating tenor of William Hart, crafted a sound that felt like it was made of silken candlelight tint. Producer Tom Bell arranged the strings like a whisper, soft, slow, and full of longing. And when those opening words come in, it's like time pauses just a little. Here's the twist. Despite being a massive hit, reaching number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, the Delphonics never managed to replicate the same crossover success. They helped lay the foundation for what would become the Philly soul sound, influencing everyone from the Stylistics to early Teddy Pendergrass.
The things I am saying are true.
But many casual listeners today only remember them for this one glowing moment. Picture it: a slow dance in a high school gym, colored lights reflecting off polished floorboards, someone holding someone just a little too close because they don't want the song or the night to end.
Oh, baby, la, 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 la.
This was love distilled into melody, a promise that felt both innocent and impossibly deep. And if that was tender love floating in the air. The next track brings us right onto the dance floor, where the groove does all the talking. Number 7, Timishton, Tighten Up by Archie Bell and the Drells.
First, tighten up on the drum. All right now, drummers, come on now.
Now this is where the floor starts moving. Released in 1968 on Atlantic Records, Tighten Up came from Houston, Texas, a city not usually mentioned in the soul music capitals of the era.
Yeah, now, I said the name of the dance now.
Archie Bell, a young serviceman in the Army, actually recorded this track before he was drafted. And as fate would have it, the song didn't blow up until after he was already overseas. Imagine that. You're halfway across the world, in uniform, and suddenly the radio starts blasting your song.
Let's do it right. Well, what's up, baby? Don't you get too down.
And it's climbing the charts. By the time Archie got the news, Tighten Up had become a full-blown national dance phenomenon, reaching number 1 on both the R&B and pop charts. The track itself is pure joy, a call to the dance floor with that signature count-in.
So baby, get to it. Let's do your left now. Let's do it right.
Hi everybody, I'm Archie Bell and the Drells from Houston, Texas. It's playful, funky, and tighter than a snare drum snap. The groove doesn't rush, doesn't push. It locks in. That's the magic. What's bittersweet is that the group never found another hit at the same level. The era moved fast. Taste has changed.
Light it up one time for me. Oh, yeah. Oh, light it up now.
But this song, it still brings smiles and shoulder shimmies the moment those horns kick in. And if that was dance floor celebration, the next one brings us back to the quiet corners of the heart, where love lingers like perfume on a sleeve. Number 6, Stay in My Corner by the Dells. This one is Bush's slow burning devotion. Released in 1968 on Cadet Records, Stay in My Corner captured something rare, a pleading love song that didn't beg but promised.
Me, oh, so
The Dells had been together since the 1950s, but this was the track that elevated them into the realm of grown folk soul. With Marvin Jr.'s smoky, thunder-deep baritone and Johnny Carter's soaring falsetto, the group created a dramatic push and pull that felt like two hearts speaking to each other across a room.
will make them sweet.
Here's what made it special. The Dells originally released a version of this song in 1960, but in '68, they re-recorded it with richer orchestration and that now iconic spoken emotional build. That second version is the one that hit. And when it hit, it hit. The song climbed to number 1 on the R&B charts and became a staple at weddings, slow dances, and after-hours lounges where the lights stayed low and the cigars smoked slow. Close your eyes and you can almost smell the dim barroom air. Sweet whiskey, fresh cologne, a couple of slow dancing like the world outside didn't matter. The Dells didn't just sing love, They lived it in harmony. If that filled the room with tenderness, what comes next? Well, the top 5 are where the deep memories live. If these forgotten gems are bringing back a feeling or making you want to call someone you once loved, go ahead and like this video. It helps keep this music alive. And we've still got 5 more soulful treasures waiting to be rediscovered. Number 5, I Wish It Would Rain by the Vancouvers, Fert Bobby Taylor. Now, here's a song soaked in heartache. Released in 1968 on Motown's subsidiary label Gordy Records, Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers weren't a household name. But for a brief, shining moment, they came close.
I wanna go outside on lonely days. Everyone.
Led by Bobby Taylor's aching gospel-trained tenor, the group recorded I Wish It Would Rain in a moment when soul music was beginning to embrace vulnerability with open arms. What's fascinating is how close this group came to being legends.
I know to you, it might sound strange, yes.
Bobby Taylor is the man who discovered the Jackson 5, bringing young Michael and his brothers straight to Motown. But while the Jacksons rose to worldwide fame, the Vancouver spotlight faded almost as quickly as it arrived. The group fractured, Motown shifted direction, and the song became a memory for those who lived it in real time.
Please go away. My girl has found another.
Still, when that chorus hits, it's 1968 again. Street lamps glowing in rainy windows, loneliness humming in your chest. This wasn't just a love song. It was a quiet storm before the Quiet Storm era even had a name. If that stirred old emotions, the next track captures the sweetness of young love in bloom. Number 4, Baby, Now That I've Found You by The Foundations. Here's a song that just smiles the second it starts. Released in late 1967 and still all over radio in 1968, Baby, Now That I've Found You came from The Foundations, a multiracial soul pop group based out of the UK, something rare and groundbreaking for the time. Their sound was warm, full, brassy, and full of life, the kind of feel-good soul that made you want to move without thinking about it. The Foundations weren't coming out of Detroit or Memphis or Chicago. They were part of a growing London soul scene deeply influenced by Motown imports and American R&B club culture. And their breakout hit landed hard, reaching number 1 in the UK and breaking the top 20 in the US. The song captured that early stage love feeling, hopeful, bright, and a little breathless, like someone running down the street to tell you how they feel. Yet, as the era shifted, the Foundations struggled to hold the spotlight. Lineup changes, shifting tastes, and the tidal wave of new soul talent meant this became their defining moment. But oh, what a moment. Play this track today, and it still feels like sunshine chasing the clouds out of your day. If that was young love bursting open, the next track shows us what happens when love turns complicated. Number 3, Can I Change My Mind by Tyrone Davis.
Can I change my mind?
This one slides in with a late-night, dimly lit glow, the kind of song that plays after the crowd has gone home, when the bartender is wiping down glasses and someone sits alone thinking about what they should have said.
I would like to start all over again.
Released in late 1968 on Dakar Records, Can I Change My Mind was Tyrone Davis's breakthrough, his first step from Chicago club stages into the national spotlight. What makes this track unforgettable is the regret in Davis's voice. Not loud, not dramatic, just heavy.
As I pack my bags to leave.
The story is simple. A man walks away from love too quickly, and the moment the door closes, he realizes what he's lost. The arrangement is smooth, anchored by Bernard Reed's steady bass and shimmering guitar licks from the Chicago soul studio scene. There's no rush here. The music breathes like someone sighing between sentences. Here's the incredible part. This was meant to be a B-side.
Nothing that would make me change my mind.
Radio DJs flipped it over, felt that heartbreak magic, and the public did too. It shot to #1 on the R&B charts and cracked the pop top 5. And yet, despite a solid career that followed, this remains the song that most people remember most vividly from Tyrone Davis's early years. Play it today, and the feeling hits instantly.
Times before, but people's
Like remembering the name of someone you still think about sometimes. And if that stirred something deep, the next one takes us into pure, late-night soul tenderness. Number 2, The Horse, by Cliff Nobles and Comey.
A stone million seller. This is Cliff Nobles, and there's little Tina. They're gonna dance the horse.
Now this one is a groove that sneaks up on you. In 1968, Cliff Nobles and Company released The Horse on Phil LA of Soul Records. And here's the wild part. Cliff Nobles doesn't even sing or play on the track. The song we all know as The Horse is actually the instrumental backing track to a vocal song called Love Is All Right. But the moment DJs flipped it over, the horns took the spotlight and history was made. Those bright, triumphant brass lines and that steady, skipping rhythm felt like a parade rolling straight through your living room. It was the soundtrack to summertime cookouts, high school band rehearsals, and every dance line from here to Newark. The Horse stampeded onto the national stage, reaching number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and becoming a marching band staple for decades to follow. Yet, despite its success, Cliff Nobles never found another song that captured the public the same way. A one-in-a-million groove, lightning in a bottle, and a reminder that sometimes the music itself is the star. And if that was a pure rush of joy and brass, what's waiting at number 1 is the kind of soul record that hits you right in the chest and stays there. Number 1, You're Gonna Need Me by Barbara Mason.
But you're gonna need me.
This is the kind of song that doesn't just play. You feel it. Released in 1968 on Arctic Records, Barbara Mason's You're Gonna Need Me carried a slow, aching honesty that stood apart from the polished Motown and soaring Stax styles of the time.
You're flying high now, Jack, and you're seeing the world.
Mason had already tasted success a few years earlier with Yes, I'm Ready, but this was her moment of grown woman clarity. No pleading, no begging, just a soft, steady truth. You'll understand what you lost when it's too late. The production is intimate, almost like a private conversation whispered across a quiet room. Her voice is warm, but resolute, backed by gentle horns and a rhythm section that leaves plenty of space for emotion to hang in the air.
Divorce papers coming through.
It didn't dominate the charts the way some hits of the era did, but over time, this song became something even more powerful. A beloved deep cut, sampled, rediscovered, cherished. Decades later, neo-soul and hip-hop artists like Mary J. Blige and the Notorious B.I.G. reached back and sampled that very feeling, proving that some songs age like wine kept in the back of a warm wooden cabinet.
Don't come back to me with tears.
Barbara Mason didn't shout. She didn't have to. Every word is a gentle reminder wrapped in velvet. You'll remember me when the love you thought was better fades away. And just like that, the moment lingers, soft, sweet, unforgettable. From dance floor joys to rainy night reflections, these one-hit wonders of 1968 remind us of just how rich, varied, and soul-deep the music of that era truly was. Some artists only got one moment in the spotlight, but what a moment it was. Thank you for taking this stroll back through time with us. If these songs sparked a memory, warmed your chest, or made you hum along, go ahead and subscribe to keep the groove alive. And when you're ready to keep traveling back in time, click the video at the end of the screen to continue the journey into 10 forgotten one-hit R&B wonders from 1967. Let's keep the music playing.